Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a controversial view. Today is another TV series, and we're going to be talking about The Office Season 1. In particular, we're going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 2, which is Diversity Day, which is hysterically funny. Now, my history with The Office is fairly recent, actually. A lot of times there's nothing else on, and if I'm doing something and I just want to put something on in the background, 9 times out of 10, if it's on, I'll put on either The Office or Everybody Loves Raymond. The Office was never a show that I was interested in seeing up until probably within the last year. And I've watched a lot of the episodes now because of marathons on Comedy Central. As a matter of fact, there's one on right now as I'm doing this video. Now, one of the things I learned from The Office is this is definitely, once again, not a show that can be made today unless you change a lot of things and really kind of woke the material, if that makes any sense. Now, of course, this is the American version of The Office with Steve Carell. And Diversity Day is, as I said before, hysterically funny and very over the top. Believe it or not, I actually never seen this episode because a lot of what I watch, like I said, is on Comedy Central. I only have the first 3 seasons of The Office. So, that's kind of all I have here. The rest I watch on marathons. And usually I just watch the marathons, and that way I don't have to run downstairs and get the DVDs. But I will be watching them shortly. So I had seen the pilot, and I had seen episode 3, but never episode 2. And for a first time watch, I just thought it was great. Now, here's the story for those of you who aren't familiar. Diversity Day is about Steve Carell, who had apparently mimicked a Chris Rock routine from a comedy show, and therefore he got reported. And Mr. Brown, who is an African American, comes in to teach the office about diversity. What things are offensive and what things aren't offensive. And it just is very much over the top, especially with Steve Carell. To the point, and this is hysterical, when Mr. Brown finally gets tired of him and leaves, Michael decides to do a drill with his employees where they pick out a card and they put it on their forehead, kind of like that card game. Only these cards have different ethnicities. And you were supposed to walk up to the other person and bring up stereotypes, which will have them guess what type of ethnicity they are. It is hysterical, and like I said, it really cannot be made today with everyone being, so uptight. Now, I will be the first to admit I had never seen the UK version of The Office. I do want to see it, um, and I will get to it eventually. But this show is just hysterically funny, and it's really sad that people have become so uptight that you really have to watch everything you do and say. Hopefully, it'll get better over time. Comedy is meant to make you laugh and to push boundaries. I don't really think it's there to offend people. So I think people need to learn to laugh at themselves more in life. So not only is Diversity Day something that can't be made, but there was also different episodes which have certain scenes that have been banned to this day. For example, There's a Halloween episode on season 6 of The Office, which part of it had to be cut out and has never been on DVD or on television. So they were trying to push boundaries back then and, deciding what was appropriate, what wasn't appropriate. And they had a lot more leeway than we do now. So my question to you is, what is another, and Joe gave me the idea for this, which I think is really cool. What is another series that cannot be made today because of its content? And there are so many, so many. But I'm curious to what you guys think. Don't forget to check out Joe's controversial view for The Office. Great show. And remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.